Hi, what's up? Welcome back. How are you doing today? Doing good, and you? I'm doing good. Doing good. I normally would be doing my Godot game today. I would normally be working on this. Oh, Godot, Godot just crashed when I tried to do that. That's so funny. I would normally be working on my Godot game today, but I decided that I really want to work on my custom engine. I'm so close to finishing a thing. Okay. That's so funny that Godot just crashed when I tried to show it off. So I'm like right at the end of a big project. It's taken me literal weeks, maybe even I think I'm on my 5th week of this project, which is to get like a really robust input system done that handles like most controllers. And by most I mean over 90% of controllers. So yeah, I'm so close, but I need to combine my systems right now. So that's what I'm doing. Sorry, it's like a little bit boring to watch this one, but I mean, if you got stuff to talk about, I will talk and type. Also, it's morning here, so this is literally my first time talking today. My voice might be a little gravelly. What's going on here? Oh no! The bots have come! Played some Silksong today. Yeah, I was noticing. I looked up your account. You have been streaming Silksong, right? Let's see. Oh, that's not what I want. How do I go to your channel? There we go. Streamed 2 hours ago. Yeah, how'd it go? How'd Silksong go? Oh, it's a const. Great. Discovered a new area. What area? Also, I gotta know, is Silksong like your #1 game? Is it like your favorite? Now it is. Nice. What can I do about this? I mean, maybe I just do a bool is Xbox. Maybe that's all I have to do. Oh, except for I've got to determine if it's Xbox. If vendor ID. Ah. You make games, right? Yes. So I've made 1.5 games. They've both been in Godot. My first game. Which controller is plugged in? This one. My first game is Droppy Ball. This game is available for $1 on Steam. It was literally just, I wanted to make a game. I did something small to try things out. And it's really fun. I get addicted. Like while I'm developing it, I keep getting distracted and just like playing a full run instead of working on it. And so it's very addicting, very fun. It's just a clone of other games that came before it, but with my own juice, right? I am still working on it. There are a couple things that I want to add to it soon, but I got distracted on other projects. Also, it's free on the Play Store, so if you have an Android phone, you can just go grab this for free. But yeah, my other project is called Loop Cell. Here, let's open the main scene. In fact, I can just start playing the game. We've got all of the debug stuff on screen, so it doesn't look like this normally. This is a game that we did for the GMTK Game Jam. And we're trying to finish it, but our team all got busy at the same time in October. So we made all of this pretty much before October. And yeah, we all got busy. And so we're going to try to pick it up next year again and try to finish it really fast. But yeah, pretty fun. These are pretty cool games. Pretty small games. And then I'm making a game engine in my free time is the way I put it. So I don't have a ton of time put into it yet, but the idea is that this will be used for a big RPG game that I'm going to be building with my brother. It's going to be our like in the background project for years. And I'm pretty excited about it, but I want to get like the engine basics done first. And input is the first one I chose to tackle, which it turns out is like a top 3 hardest thing to tackle on a Windows game engine. So that's what I'm working on. Oh, and this engine I'm making is in C++, technically, although I'm trying to just write C code in C++ files, and it's based on the Handmade Hero project by Casey Muratori. I actually just made a YouTube video about this, so if you want a little more info on that, go check it out. But yeah, there you go. Cool and ambitious. Hey, what's up? We got someone new. Idris Idris D Jabber. Y9B. Welcome to the chat. What brings you by? We're gonna skip that song. Okay, so now I detect a controller disconnected. I gotta find the controller. I'll watch it after you stream. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I don't get a lot of views on my stuff since the biggest video I ever did was a drama video about pirate software. I tried to take like a fair take on it. I just hopped on like a really big trend. Another Casey inspired. Yep. So anyway, I tried to hop on the trend and like give my take, and would you know it, I got a ton of views. I was like a 0 subscriber channel, and I got 120,000 views and 700 subscribers. So other than that video, none of my videos get any views. Just starting out, and I don't have a ton of time to work on it, unfortunately. But yeah, I might have a new one coming out soon. We'll see. Oh, sorry, bumped the mic. So I've got to handle disconnects. I think this is easy enough. If I find the controller, disconnect it, and then I just need to so it's I. Yeah, I just need to go input mappings dot input caps at I. Oh, it's I minus 1 though. Oh, I gotta do that. I made that mistake up here. I do think though that being another Casey inspired might be a little bit false in my case, because I'm actually inspired by Billy Basso, and then he was inspired by Casey. So it's a little bit, I'm like a second generation Casey fan. I was watching, but like Billy Basso is how I learned about Handmade Hero. So I found out about Handmade Hero in April. I was on a trip, and I was just like listening to a podcast of Billy Basso. Can't remember who was interviewing him, but he was saying that he made the game in a custom engine, and he was talking about all the cool things, all the cool features of his engine that can really only be achieved in a custom engine, including his small file size. and I was just obsessed with it because I don't know, that type of programming just speaks to me. And so anyway, like I was yeah, I was just like, wow, I want to make a game like him. And then at the end of the podcast, he says, "Oh yeah, I learned it all from Handmade Hero." And like basically you just have to do the first 30 days of Handmade Hero and then you go off on your own and you can do that. And so I like Google it. I'm like, what the heck is Handmade Hero? And sure enough, there's a playlist of like almost 700 videos on YouTube with Handmade Hero. So I watched like the first 10 of them on this trip. And I was slightly tortured because I couldn't work on them because I was on vacation. Didn't have my computer. And so I was just like trying to soak it all in. And then when I got home, I worked on it. Yeah, the Animal Well creator. Yep. Yep, and I loved that game. That was such a fun game. So yeah, that's who I really am trying to be like, I guess. But yeah, Casey Muratori is, you know, technically, wait, what's going on here? Input caps. Oh, I need the address stuff. Yeah, Casey Muratori inspired a lot of people, so I'm not special in any way. I just want to do it my way though. Okay, so I got to make sure to -1. That was a mistake I was making. So same thing here. Actually, I don't think I need to do anything more than just equals this. I think I can just do that. But yeah, it's one of those things, like I'm starting to realize the farther I go into all of this stuff and like learning how I really want to be working on software development is I must have been like so terrible at Googling. Like I'm probably above average in Googling as a software developer, as a professional software developer. I'm probably pretty good at Google, but somehow I just like did not learn how to make games until this year basically. So it was just like I had never heard of Handmade Hero until a random podcast about it in April. And it's been out for 11 years. Yeah, 11 years ago and like a few weeks is when the first episode of Handmade Hero came out. And I'm like just now figuring out about it. So yeah, I'm sure there's even more stuff that I know nothing about because I just don't know how to Google. But now that I've found it, I'm latched on. I'm ready. Okay, so there's the disconnect. I think this will work. Is Xbox is true based on the vendor ID. And so now I just go down here and I do the same thing up here. If it's this, then new caps dot is Xbox equals true. If I did not find Casey, I would have given up on C++ or low level stuff. Yeah, that's what's crazy. Although I do sense a resurgence because so I went to college, graduated 6 years ago, and we learned C++ in school. That was the first language that we learned at university, and it took up the first half of the degree. Pretty much. I mean, not exactly, but it pretty much the first half of the degree was C++. And Yo, Mojo, YouTube just recommended your channel thanks to the pirate software video, and I gotta say I agree with your takes. I was also a fan that felt betrayed. I'm loving your content. Yo, that's amazing. That's crazy. I was actually just talking about that video. That's like the only video I have that has any views. Um, Thanks for showing up. I'm working on a custom engine just because I want to. It's not like a primary project. Cool to see you going the Billy Basso route and making your own engine. Yep. Yep. All right, back to the story. So I learned C++ and I didn't really like it. And it turns out most of the industry doesn't really like it. People are scared of it. People say, you know, you can do so much more software, or like hardware is better now. So you can use Java, you can use Python, and it's fine. Yeah, the industry does not really like it, except for like a silent group. And I think that they've been silenced because it became like common hatred, right? Like everyone just like was like, oh yeah, it's obvious. You just hate C++ and you're good to go, right? You're a software developer. Oh, you hate C++? Got it. You know, it's just like obvious. And I think that Rust is actually breaking the mold there. I think that the Rust community is like so gung-ho on low-level development, and it's becoming like mainstream and popular again. And so I think that the C developers are kind of coming out of the woodworks right now. And I think people are getting back into C, and they're realizing just how good it is and just how much you can do with such an old language. I mean, that's definitely how I feel, at least. Like, I feel like C is kind of elite. But anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think I'm right? Not just the language, but the mentality to seek simplicity over a lot of abstractions. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. My professional career is I'm an Android developer, and so I work in Kotlin. You have to use the JVM to write Android apps. Technically, I mean, you can use JNI, and I have used JNI to write C programs for Android, but even to run the application, it still requires Java. And so, yeah, it's been very refreshing to get into this C code that has like no abstractions. I don't have a million files with a million classes. I just write raw code. It feels very, very low level, and it's wonderful. How close am I to being done with this? I feel like maybe I'm there. Let's find out. Device failed to find mapping. That's not good. Oops, I had a breakpoint. Okay, yeah, something's broken. Okay. Yeah, let's get into the debugging. Basically, I've got a PlayStation controller on my desk, and I've got an Xbox controller on my desk. And I want the PlayStation controller to be handled by what's called raw input. And then I want the Xbox controller to be handled by game input. So two different input systems working in the same structs. It's maybe a little ambitious. Here, let's put it up here. Let's put the breakpoint right here. Start. Okay, so I get here, And nice. Oh. Okay, yeah. Insert index is 0, right? No, it's 1. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. And I get, yep, skipping non-Xbox controller, correct? Okay, so that worked. And so now let's put a little breakpoint down in, what's the reason behind 2 inputs for each? I can tell you, 1 sec. It's really complicated and really dumb, believe it or not. Okay, so now I've got this thing. And let's check out my input mappings. Input caps should be all empty. Yep. I can't zoom in on the right window, by the way. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna narrate, I guess. Input states. So controllers should all be null. Yes, they are all null. Oh, but this one is connected. Oh, that's the keyboard. We're good. We're good. Okay, so the reason for 2 inputs is nuts, by the way. It's totally nuts. So basically, I'm on a Windows computer. There are, let's see, there's game input, X input, raw input, direct input, and then there's Steam input. So there are 5 options. We're going to the board. We're drawing it. I would be a bad streamer if I wasn't drawing this. Gotta get my drawing tablet. I've got 6 controllers on my desk because I've been working on this so long. Okay, so there are 5 input libraries. Well, I'll call them APIs. X input, game input. These are Microsoft. And so they're best for Xbox. Then there's raw input and direct input. And these are what's called HID libraries. And then there's Steam input, which is obviously for Steam. Turns out, like most people, like they told me not to use this, right? People just told me not to use this. I'm kind of trusting them because I think I'd rather use like actual, Windows API level stuff. All right, so HID works for all controllers, right? And this one only works for, well, okay, that's a lie. Game input also works for all controllers, but it's definitely like it was made for Xbox controllers. Xbox or X input was only made for Xbox controllers. It cannot, I mean, technically there are some other controllers that implement the API and can use it, but it's not widespread. And so HID can handle all controllers, so why wouldn't I just use HID? Well, the answer to that is because Microsoft bad. Microsoft bad. They made it so that Xbox controllers, so here we go. I'm going to try to draw a controller. We got a little controller here, right? There's a stick. There's a D-pad. Tale as old as time, yeah. There's another stick. Then there's, A, B, X, Y. There's a bumper. And then there's triggers. This is intense. Okay, there's a guide button. There's a share button and a start, whatever. They're called, I think it's called start and back, actually. Start and back buttons. So these are all the buttons. These are all the inputs. Ooh, and I can even illustrate this. Let me plug in the Xbox controller. while I'm talking about this. So basically, for some reason, like every controller, any input, like anything that goes into a computer sends HID information. And for some reason, here, let me show you the HID tables. This is an HID table. These right here, let's zoom in a little bit. Whoa, that zoom is really slow. Okay. So these are like the main inputs for what are called axes. And so what it is like the left stick. The left stick typically uses 0x30 and 0x31. X and Y. And so if X is -1, then it's pointing left, right? If it's +1, it's pointing right. If Y is -1, it's pointing up. If it's +1, it's pointing down. So that's how you get like stick input, right? Is through these HID values. Same thing for the right stick. Same thing for the triggers. And this is where it breaks down. On an Xbox controller, and I can show you. One sec. Sorry, I don't know why it like just did that. Okay. There's this thing. There's a thing on your computer. You can do this right now. You type in the run. So here we go. Run. In this. Oh my gosh. Here, let me bring it over. You type joy.cpl. Joy.cpl. It opens up this window. You can click on your controller. I've got an Xbox One controller plugged in. Oh my gosh. Stop. This thing keeps popping into the foreground. All right. You click properties and it brings up this window and you can see all the inputs. So here's my, you can kind of see right in here. This is my left stick. I'm swinging it around. This is the right stick. I don't know why they're represented in two different views, but they are the same type of values. So this is me swinging the right stick around. Here's all the buttons, right? Oh, sheesh. Here's the D-pad. This is down here. Now get this. This is the left trigger. Left trigger. Got it? It's on. This is the right trigger. That's right. For some reason, Microsoft decided in HID that Xbox controllers would share the same axis for their triggers. So if I have both triggers pushed down, which I do right now, you cannot detect it until I lift one or the other, and then it swings the other way. So, and that is for all Xbox controllers, by the way, and only on Windows. On Linux and Mac, totally doesn't work that way. So, what you have to do is use game input or X input because Microsoft made their own libraries to handle those triggers. I'll just let that sink in for a sec. So anyway, that's why I'm using both of them. It's because game input and X input don't have enough input information on other controllers. On I have PlayStation controllers, I have Nintendo Switch controllers. If in Linux this doesn't happen, which input are they using? DI? It's just a Microsoft thing. Yeah. Yep. I actually have not confirmed it myself for the Linux one, or the Mac one, but from what I understand, and I learned this just from like observing SDL, the SDL library. From what I understand, on Linux, the HID gets read differently. I don't know why. I think it's because they just got custom software in their controllers that changes the way it sends the input based on what type of operating system it's connected to. Which is bonkers. But yeah, so game input can technically read all controllers' input, but it only reads basic stuff. It only reads like these things that would appear on an Xbox controller, but not this. It doesn't read the guide button, is what it's called. Like the giant X, it doesn't read that button, which is like whatever. But like PlayStation controllers, here, let's try to draw a PlayStation controller real quick. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. PlayStation controllers have a few extra buttons. There is a giant touchpad at the top. There's, you know, the PlayStation button, but there's also like a mute button. And they got their like whatever, these. And with raw input, I can read everything. I can read the touchpad button pressed. I can read touchpad touches. I can read the guide button. I can read the mute button. I can get it all. And so, yeah, I decided I wanted that. And so for PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, basically anything non-Xbox, I'm going to be using raw input. And for Xbox, I'm going to be using game input. So yeah, welcome to the dumb world of Microsoft input. By the way, I have a Mac input layer. Here, look at this. Mac OS main. I have the Mac input layer done. You just import game controller and it handles everything. I think I even just, where is it? PlayStation, what do I have? PS4? Maybe I don't have it uploaded yet. Maybe I haven't uploaded my, no? Where is it? Controller connected. Yeah. Vendor name. There we go. So like, yeah, I've already got it set up on Mac. It works with all controllers. Why not X input? X input is totally viable. And actually that's part of what I'm doing right now is I have these defines for game input and X input, so I can just switch between the two. There's not like a huge advantage to one or the other, but Microsoft is no longer developing X input, and they are developing game input. Game input is their new, it's basically X input too. And so that's what I've been using. It genuinely, it works so similarly that, yeah, it's not like too bad. I'm far into the platform layer. Am I far? I mean, I did finish the first 26 days of Handmade Hero. And so I got like the Windows prototyping layer done, which is what Casey calls it. And I have been trying to get PlayStation input ever since. And I did get it, but now I'm trying to combine the systems. And I have, wait, actually, did it work? It worked, right? If I continue. No, I don't have it working for some reason. What was my output? Oh, I've got the Xbox controller plugged in. Let's see if it's working. Oh, it's working. Yeah, so here, let me bring this over. One sec. All right, so this is my little like prototype thing. So those are the left stick things. These are the right stick things. This is the D-pad. This is triggers. See, look at that. Boop. And boop. I can handle them separately with game input. See that? This is the guide button, which also brings up my Steam, of course. Why wouldn't it? So yeah. Oh, I have Rumble working too. Can you hear this? So yeah, game input is working. It's working nicely. If I unplug and replug that, I plug in a PlayStation controller. Yeah, I don't know why it's failing to find the mapping now. I wonder why that is. I've messed something up. I've messed something up in my PlayStation implementation. I want to fix that real quick because it's super cool and I want to show it off. But real quick, I just realized I am totally losing track of time, so I'm gonna start up my stream timer to warn me of when I need to go to work. Okay. Let's figure out what I changed. I did change this. But it's failing to find the mapping. That's weird. Why would it fail to find the mapping? Oh, does it have to? It probably has to do with the index. Let's see. Down, no. No, we'll just step through it. Sorry, we're getting into boring territory again, but I gotta know. Okay, so my new index is 0. That's okay. Vendor ID. Yeah, nothing. Oh, no, we're back at the top. Yeah, this is fine. So yeah, new handle. This is all good. HID path. So I'm getting the name. I got the name. What's my name? Name is wireless controller, so that's working. If it's the PlayStation vendor ID, which it should be, vendor is 054C. PS vendor ID is 054C. Oh, crap. So now I get, if it's that, okay. And then I get the mappings, and that's failing? Why is that failing? Null. Get mappings by ID. Vendor product. Oh. I think I know what could be wrong. Yeah. Okay. Plat win 32. That's what I need. Okay. I think this should work now. Yes. I'm just going to send it. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so check this out. So this is my PlayStation controller now. All the inputs are working. It's great. Here's the triggers. Nice and smooth, buttery smooth. Here's all the buttons. Stick buttons, whatever, D-pad. But then here's the thing. This right here, watch this is cool. Touchpad. I can read 2 touchpad inputs. Isn't that sick? And then this is the touchpad button that I'm pressing. A bunch of aftermarket controllers. Yeah, X input controllers will read as game input, yeah. Although I'll probably test it out. We'll see. But yeah, isn't this cool? Billy Basso did this. That's why I'm copying that. Here, let me show you. Because you may not know this. Animal well. Crap, it started on the wrong screen. One sec. Bring it over here. Okay, so check this out. When you're in game, like there's no reason for it to be this awesome. Look at this. There's like these wisps. These little wisps. I can like interact with the environment with the PlayStation touchpad. Like it like works with the bushes. It works with these lamps. Like, isn't that sick? So I saw that. I saw that Billy had done that, and I was like, I gotta do that. I need to have this. And I'm noticing now that my controller also has the lights are different. The lights are flickering on my controller, and I bet he's doing that too. So anyway, I stole this idea from him. He was just like, it doesn't add anything to the game. Like, you can't change the gameplay by doing this. But how cool is that? How cool is that? I love it. So anyway. Now I have it. I have it. I did it. Ahaha. Yeah, you could play with the DualSense. Yep. Yep. I have the DualSense on my desk as well. I've already got the inputs for that one as well. So yeah. All right, let's do a quick little test because I think I'm done. If I run this, yep, skipping non-Xbox controller, and then device name wireless controller. I don't know why my PlayStation controller's name is just wireless controller, but it is. All right, now I've disconnected the PlayStation controller, and we're going to connect the Xbox controller. Give it a sec. Xbox always takes a sec to connect. Controller connected. And that, I should probably, yeah, device name. Oh. No, that's fine. That's fine. I do it after the name is grabbed. All right, so now let's bring this over. Yep, Xbox input works. Everything, let's check every button. Oh boy. I hate that sometimes, like, the buttons interact with Steam. So when I'm like testing things out, Steam just like starts opening. So yeah, I did it. I think I'm done. I think that's my input system done and dusted. And then, oh, except for I should probably test the X input. Oh, and I also don't have the PlayStation 5 stuff set up. PS5. Yeah, this. Oh, I don't have the rumble fixed either. Dang it. There's always something, you know? There's always something. This could use some formatting. How do you format? We'll just do it like this. I don't really like normal C formatting. I do like a Java formatting, but sue me. I do need to change this. So I just do int. Is it an int? I hope that means it's an int. Okay, height equals caps product ID equals PS5 product ID, then PS5 touchpad Y, otherwise PS4 touchpad Y. And then we do down here height So that should be done. Oh, but then I need the byte as well. What is it? It is an int. Int byte equals caps. I don't know if you've tested this before, but I believe, could be wrong, that the DualShock or DualSense read differently depending if it's connected via USB or Bluetooth. Yeah, that's probably true. And unfortunately, I don't have a way to test that because my computer is dumb and won't connect via Bluetooth. So I need to figure that out first before I can test it. I'm really hoping that it's all the same. Like these input reports should be the same. I know that there's some differences in some other things, but I hope that I don't need those things, I guess is kind of what I'm getting at. Although let's look at the HID table. Is this only for, like, I think HID tables are Bluetooth or wired agnostic. I could be wrong. Let's try to search for Bluetooth. It's not even mentioned. Let's just double check. Is mouse mentioned? Yeah. So Bluetooth isn't even mentioned in HID tables. So just buy a Bluetooth USB dongle. That's a good point. No, that's a very good point. I should do that. Yeah, I was talking to a friend. He's a total genius on computers, on PC building and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, did you upgrade to Windows 11? I was like, yeah, I did. And he's like, yeah, Windows 11 has bad integration with Bluetooth. And I was like, ah, crap. So apparently on Windows 10, Bluetooth was fine. Windows 11, Bluetooth not so great. Right, and then the last thing I need to do here is I need to check that the product ID equals PS4 product ID or PS5 product ID. Look at that, Justin. Your friend is not wrong. Well, yeah, it's just bad apparently. Okay, so now let's test this out. Let's run this. I'm gonna bring this over here. I have the Xbox controller plugged in right now. Looks like it's working great. Unplug. Let's plug in my PS5 controller or PS4 controller. Looks great. I've got the touchpad inputs working great. Unplug that and let's plug in my DualSense. DualSense, it's working great. Here's the touch inputs. Ta-da! So yeah, I did it. Here's the mute button, by the way, on the DualSense. Input. Just in case you wanted that. All right, yeah, input system is pretty good. I need to fix the rumble. I don't know if I want to do that today. I think I'm gonna commit this real quick. Come on. WSL has been so slow lately. Okay. We'll just commit that real quick. Got something working. So yeah, the last things to do for this is going to be, so I've got this one done. Yeah, the last thing is rumble. Oh, and then I guess I'll write another one here. So I need to double check that X input is okay, because I have turned off X input for now. Genuine question: why develop on Windows over WSL and not bare metal Linux? Yeah, so it's a really dumb answer. I'm actually like this right here. Like I'm using NeoVim, obviously. This is just on PowerShell. It's not like this isn't on WSL. I just do Git through WSL. And the reason for that is because professionally, I've always used Macs, and I had OhmyZSH, and I have like all of these fancy Git aliases for myself that I got really used to using. And so I use WSL just for Git. That's it. And so why not bare metal Linux? I'm making a game, and so it makes sense to develop on Windows. Yeah, I mean, I should probably just figure out how to port these aliases over to like PowerShell or something and use Git on PowerShell. But I set it up for Linux or like a Unix based operating system, and so I just stuck with it. It's a really dumb reason, but that's my reason. RGB. That was another thing. I just noticed that Billy Basso was changing the RGB on my controller, so I might need to do that too. I think another thing I could do that takes my input system to the next level is getting like gyroscope and accelerometer readings and like trying to do some sort of little Easter egg with those. But yeah. Yeah, interestingly enough, oh, dang it. Billy Basso uses X input. So I'm doing it slightly differently because I'm choosing game input. Although technically I can switch between the two pretty easily. I just go to my build folder or my build file, and I just switch this from Mojo game input to Mojo X input, and then I'm on X input. But I have not tested it, and technically I haven't implemented it. So that's my last step. I guess I've got 30 minutes. Maybe I should try to tackle that. Let's try tackling that. What have I done? I pressed like 5 keys on accident. I got big fat fingers. And yeah, the screen went white. Nice. Okay, so now I'm using X input. So let's go to this. The problem with X input, it doesn't read things the same way. It kind of like assumes that you're using all X input. And so what it does is it just says there's 4 max controllers, which I actually adopted in my game. Well, actually in my game it's going to be single player, so I actually don't know why I'm doing all of this, but who knows, maybe it'll be useful. But yeah, they're like, yeah, you can only have 4 controllers, and that's because, you know, there's 4 little light indicators on an Xbox controller, you may have noticed. And it tells you which player you are. So anyway, yeah, basically I just like iterate over how many controllers there can be and for every controller. And so if I have one controller hooked in, one Xbox controller hooked in, it will be the first index. Yo, what's up? OCP Stream Hub World. Welcome to the chat. Oh, I just realized there was a bot in the middle of all of those chats. Let's go get rid of that. So yeah, anyway, basically each the controller will be at index 0. And so I would need to like always map that to the correct controller in my input state. And I don't necessarily know how to do that right off the top of my mind. So we're going to just try some stuff. Yeah. Okay, so I wrote a note up here. So I should get the controller index first. Int controller index equals -1. And then for int I equals 0. My fat fingers are hurting me again. Max user, max count. Whoa. Plus I. Oh, I just realized what's happening here. My playing D needs to have X input as well. Now I will get autocomplete. Okay, so I do this thing. Yank. Oh, maybe I'll just do it up here. That seems good. And then we'll do this. And then controller index equals I and break. So now I would have the controller index and the input state. Wow, tons of people showing up today. Welcome to the stream. I am, oh, actually there's 2 people with the same name, but with 1 letter off. That's sus. Welcome to the stream. I'm working on a custom game engine for a game that is nowhere even close to being started, but I just love working on this kind of stuff. And today I'm finishing up my input system. And I just showed off how all of it working, and y'all missed it. So maybe go to my YouTube and scroll back a little bit, scrub back, I don't know, 15 minutes, and I showed off all of it working if you want to see it. But yeah, I'm trying to get the X input system finalized, and then I should be good to go. Should be good to move on to bigger and better things. Okay, so now that I have the controller index, in fact, let's just call it the X index. Nice, very Microsofty. I just thought of this. How decoupled do you want your engine to be from your game? Yeah, I can show you that. The answer is not very. Everything is going to be in. That's kind of the point of doing your own custom engine for a game, or at least the way Billy Basso says it, is that like nothing that's in the engine will be unused. Wait. Yes, I said that correctly. 2 double negatives, bad idea. So basically everything in the engine is used for the game, is the idea. And so you like technically, no wonder you got no clue what's going on. Yeah, sorry about that. So basically, like, I wouldn't add things if I wasn't going to use them for the game. And so the engine and the game are essentially the same thing. And so it's funny because like we have this idea of what an engine is from things like Unity, Unreal, Godot, right? We have these concepts. And we think of them as like IDEs, right? They're like there's a window and you have a view of your game and you can put things onto the screen in the game. But that's not what I'm making. I'm not making a generic engine. I'm not making something that can be used for a bunch of games. I'm making something that's essentially a collection of libraries like math and gamepad and renderer and physics. And if I need them for my next game, I can copy them over maybe, or I can just like learn from my previous engine. But like, no, it would not be a general purpose multiple use engine. It is just for, oh, someone followed. Does it show my Twitch overlay? No, it didn't work. I guess I don't have follower, whatever. But anyway, yeah, it's really like it will be purpose built for a single game. But anything I make can be reused, obviously. I mean, my platform layer, I'm trying to make it like so generic. Well, not generic. I'm not making it generic. I'm making it so readable that I can just pick pieces out of it for another game if I need to. And same thing with like the Mac layer. Like I'm trying to just make it like a really normal Mac app so I can take that core and put it into another engine for another game. So yeah, that's the idea. It's very coupled. But also not, right? Like I have these three paradigms. I have the platform layer, I have the Mojo engine, and the game code. And so the game code will use Mojo engine code, and then it will send like rendering data to the platform layer. Rendering and sound data is all I have right now. So maybe I'll write that. Sends rendering and sound data to the platform layer. That's all it has right now. But yeah, like basically anything in the platform layer should never be included in other folders. So like the Mojo engine and the game code, they're never actually going to know what the platform layer can do. So yeah. And the platform layer actually only uses the code from the game through a DLL. Like I just build my game code into a DLL and load that in the platform layer. So in that way, it's a little decoupled. But also I'm importing, as you'll see, I'm importing game handmade.h. So yeah, there you go. That's kind of the intro to that. I don't think X input has a way to detect if a controller is disconnected, unfortunately. So that's going to be a little annoying. Okay, so yeah, the problem I'm having here yeah, basically like every frame, like the way that X input works is every frame, so you've got your loop, We're going back to the drawing board. Oh, sorry, I bumped the mic. You know, I've got my game loop. So while running, I read X input, right? I just grab whatever controller is there, I grab its input. And so if I've got 3 controllers, I just read 3 controllers input. If I have, if on the next frame I have 2 controllers, I just read 2 controllers input. It's not telling me, oh, a controller was connected, a controller was disconnected. It's just saying you had 2, now you have 3. It's not even saying that, right? It's saying this frame, on this frame, you have 2. That's all it's saying. Next frame, you have 3. So I need to like basically store that somehow. And I guess I could store it with this input state maybe. Is this a pointer? It is a pointer. Wait, that's nice. Or is, wait, actually I'm not like entirely sure. Hang on. X input state. It is, right? Input state. No. This needs a P input state, right? Oh, I already defined this myself. Get state. This is X input. Yeah, it's a pointer. So dang it. This isn't a pointer. But the pointer would be the same, right? Yeah, it's tricky. Tricky. I could read the ID in as an index, although I already have an index. Like maybe it could be... Yeah, because there's no way to tell if it's the same controller. That's what's weird about X input. So like, I think if, for example, I had 3 controllers, right? I have 0, 1, and 2 controllers plugged in to the computer, right? Here's my little controller icon. If I disconnect 1, I'm pretty sure 2 just becomes 1. Should we find that out? I think I can test that pretty quickly. I don't think I even need to run the game. One sec, I'm going to go plug in a controller. Okay, so I've plugged in an Xbox 360 controller to the computer, and it is reading as player 1. It has the little LED that shows that it is player 1. So now I plug in my Xbox One controller. Oh, there's no LED on the Xbox One controller. So let's do this a different way. Let's plug in the Xbox One controller first, and then the Xbox 360 controller. Okay, that's weird. Okay, Xbox One controller first. Plug that in. Okay, and now I plug in the Xbox 2 controller. Or sorry, not Xbox 2. Xbox 360 controller. Okay, yeah, there we go. So now it is the second controller. It has the number 2 LED lit up. So now if I unplug my first controller, does it switch? It doesn't. which means that it would be recognized as the second one. So now if I run my game, I don't expect this to work very well. Let's get rid of, let's comment this, get rid of this, comment this, and then we'll just comment all of this. We can get rid of this. I think that's everything for now. So let's test it out. Go up here. A little higher. Load Xbox input. So it's a little, or no, nope, it's higher than this. Okay. So right here, I think basically this is what I'm looking for. Okay. So let's plug in the Xbox One controller. All right, so start. So X index is 0. Oh, this is a weird way to test this. Hang on, let's go down here. Okay, so now, boom, we've got I is 0, and then I is 1. So I've got two controllers, 0, 1, 0, 1. It's just going to alternate between the two. So now if I unplug the controller in 0, what happens? So I unplug the 0. Do I just get 1 over and over again? I do. Interesting. Okay. So maybe I could just store that index as the ID. That could be interesting. That could maybe work. I didn't know that that's how it worked. Cool. Easy test. So I was wrong. I was wrong about this. Basically, like if I remove 1, then I just now have a 0 and a 2 controller. Okay, so this thing makes no sense now. Delete that. I should delete these. These need to be brought into here. Oh, I got rid of the X input state. X input state? What was it called? Oh, it might have been like a capital X input. Oh gosh. X input this. I think it was one of these, right? Nope. Yes, it's that. Okay. So if I get 1, then I now have the index. And so the index will be the ID. I think that should be fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. If it's an Xbox. Yeah, okay. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. The only thing that I can't do is get the vendor ID and the product ID. But maybe I can just do this. I can just do new con state. Nope, wrong thing. Just to do add Xbox vendor ID to caps. I can just hard code it. I think it's fine. So now what? I have the index. Oh, my brain. Now I need to get the insert index. So I need to do this thing, but down one level deeper. So, yes, max controllers. Oh, that's a bug. +1. That's a bug that exists up here too. Does it exist here though, is the question. This is gamepad state. This is raw input. This is fine. Okay, but this one is also fine. Yeah, yep, that's fine. Oh, am I not using that up here? Oh, I'm doing the length. Okay, so this is fine. Yeah, so now I do that, and it will be I. And I just need to convert the pointer to, okay, cast to smaller integer type int from void start. That's fine, right? Or do I need it to be a long? Does it need to be a long? Okay, it needs to be a long, everybody. That's the fun thing about C that I'm realizing, is that everything is just an integer. You just need to find the right size of integer. That's great. Okay, so now the insert index, if the ID is null and the temp type is not Xbox, and the insert, and okay, yeah, this is good. And now I need to use this code, but then convert it. Here we go. There's my 5-minute warning. It jump scared me. I'm just going to leave it there to remind me that. Ooh, maybe I should change because this is a custom program I wrote. Maybe I should change it so that this 5 goes down every minute. That's what I should do. I'm gonna write that down. Stream timer. Make the 5 count down. So that way I can just keep it up there to keep me honest. But yeah, everyone, in 5 minutes I will be leaving. That's what you need to know. And I can make this go away, come back. It's a pretty sweet program. There's no way to find out the vendor ID, but that's okay because this will only read X input, so I don't need this. Controller connected, and we're gonna do X input controller connected. And this will be called gamepad state star. ID. No, but I've already done that, right? Or have I? No, I haven't. It's right here. This. New con state is that, but yeah, these need to change. This is awkward. Okay, we'll just do that and we'll make this Control V that. And then we need to set new con state equals that. And then old con state is old input at the insert index plus 1. Okay. New con state type Xbox ID will be I. And I need to convert it to a void star. Cast to void star from smaller integer type unsigned int. I mean, fine. I'll just make it an unsigned long. Sue me. Huh. Cast to void from smaller integer type unsigned int. Oh, I see. I've got two I's going on. This one needs to be J. And this one needs to be a long. Okay, and now I can get rid of these and the caps. Doesn't need the -1. Yes. Win32 input mapping. Goodness. And then the vendor ID will just be Xbox vendor ID. And product ID I cannot get. All right. So close, but that is pretty much my time. Just a little recap of what I'm doing. I am trying to get X input to conform to my input system. And so I'm trying to take an Xbox controller that could be plugged in at any index and put it into one of my indexes. Which is maybe a really dumb way to do it. I probably should have done like a linked list of controllers to make it like infinite. You could plug in as many controllers as you want, but I didn't. So here we are. Did that. Okay, so insert index, new con state is Xbox. That's the index. Cool. New con state is connected true. Is analog. Yeah, that's fine. This is good. This is good. Because I think that this is what I'm checking, right? I think. I could have sworn I am checking vendor ID. Yeah, if it's Xbox vendor ID, return. I don't know why. Oh, it's vendor. I'm not checking vendor. So I didn't even need to do that then. I don't even need to do this hard coding. I'll do it anyway, but I don't need to. I could set the name maybe. Xbox controller, X input, something like that. I don't know. Oh, that's right. It's not assignable. Just printf caps name like that. I think that's all I need to do. Put that name in there. Oh, except for the name is gonna be. No, I don't need to do any of this. I keep just like doing extra stuff. Okay, is Xbox is true? That is the only thing I need. New con state. Okay, so I do need new con state to be a little higher. Wait, what is this? Is connected is false. I can do this. I can do this higher. I don't need it here. Controller not connected. No. I don't know if I need to do that. I think it's good. Okay. Oh. So what are my errors? $287. Right up here. Input state. Oh, it's because this needs to be turned into an int. Cannot convert. Oh, yeah. I didn't change this. Oh, yeah, bye. Oh, man. I got distracted again. All right, see ya.